Valve just quietly confirmed the one thing that every VR headset has gotten wrong, and almost nobody is talking about it yet. What's going on, everybody? It's Ed Saavedra. So, new FCC documents for the Steam Frame just dropped, and one single line buried in the manual changes the entire conversation about this headset. Steam Frame is getting an Enthusiast Kit, and inside of that kit is a hot-swappable lithium-ion battery pack. That one line might matter more than the price, the release date, or any other leak that we have seen so far. If you have ever used a VR headset for longer than 30 minutes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Battery is a silent killer. You finally get comfortable, you finally get into the experience, and then you have to stop because the thing is dying, right? Now it looks like Valve is actually doing something about it. So today, I want to break down what the FCC documents actually say, the VRChat update that quietly ties into this whole story. Now, real quick on the FCC documents themselves. These include external photos of the Steam Frame controller, internal teardown images, FCC test setup photos, and the user manual statement that everyone is now combing through. The controller internals are cool if you are into hardware teardowns, but the controllers are not where the real story is. The story is the manual. The manual statement mentions that the headset contains a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, but then it states that the Frame Enthusiast Kit also includes a hot-swappable lithium-ion battery pack. That one line there is a big deal, because right away, my brain goes to longer sessions. So if you're using a Steam Frame for standalone VR, social VR, or wireless PCVR, battery life is going to be a huge one here. It does not matter how good that screen is if the headset is always dying right when you are getting comfortable. Now, I do not want to overstate this. We still do not know the price, the launch timing, or exactly what else is in this kit. And the wording matters here. So the manual states that the kit also includes the battery pack, which makes it sound like the battery itself is just one part of the bigger accessory bundle. There is already talks about this being a pro head strap with better audio and the battery setup combined, but I would just not treat that part as a confirmed aspect yet. So the simple confirmed version is this. The Steam Frame has an Enthusiast Kit, and that kit includes a hot swappable battery pack. That alone is a really good sign. If Valve is thinking about long session users before launch, that tells me that they understand the audience they are going after. And this is for people who may actually want to use this thing as part of their Steam setup. Now, real quick, guys, if you guys like these kinds of Steam Frame and Steam Machine breakdowns, please do me a favor and hit subscribe. I am tracking every leak as it drops. Now, in a second, guys, I want to get into the VRChat update that I think may actually prove that Valve is serious about standalone VR, so stick around for that. So the next piece here is VRChat. So VRChat now appears to have an Android build on Steam, with its own APK and OpenXR support showing up through SteamDB. And that matters a lot because the Steam Frame is not just a PCVR streaming headset, it is also supposed to run standalone content. That is the part that I keep coming back to with this headset. So if Steam Frame only works well when you are streaming from a powerful PC, that is a little bit interesting, but it is way more limited. If it can build a real standalone library on Steam, that changes the whole pitch. So VRChat is one of those apps that makes sense for this kind of device. You're not just buying the headset for one big cinematic game. You're pretty much buying into spaces, worlds, avatars, friends, events, and the social stuff that keeps people coming back. So now I still want to see how this actually works in practice. I want to know if it feels closer to that Android style standalone experience, whether it has any world or avatar limitations, and how well it runs on the Steam Frame hardware. But seeing VRChat move toward a standalone Steam build is a very good sign here for the Steam Frame software ecosystem, because hardware is only half of this. The other half is whether the headset has things that people actually want to open. Because the whole question with this headset is pretty much going to be the library. What runs standalone, what needs streaming, and what feels good and what is actually worth playing. And honestly, that is going to matter just as much as the hardware specs. So my take on it is this, guys. The controller's pictures are cool, but they are not what people should be focused on. So the Enthusiast Kit here is that real headline. A hot swappable battery pack pretty much tells me that Valve is actually thinking about the real problems that people have with VR headsets. Battery life, comfort, and longer sessions, right? And then you add VRChat moving towards standalone, and that makes this whole ecosystem around the headset start to feel more real. Now, none of this confirms launch timing, and we still don't have a final price, so I'm not just promising day one perfection, right? So for me, the questions are now pretty simple. The price of the headset, the price of the Enthusiast Kit, and how strong the standalone library actually is at launch. Because if Valve gets all of those three things correct, the Steam Frame starts to look a lot more serious than just another VR headset announcement. So are you guys more interested in Steam Frame as a standalone headset, a wireless PCVR headset, or both? Drop a comment below, guys, and let me know. For more handheld and gaming hardware coverage, check out savage.com. I'm at Savage, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I will catch you all in the next one.